Hi guys. I just was watching. I don't know if you know Lori Ladd here on YouTube. Um, I just love hearing her talk and telling the stories of the unknown that has been really happening right now in my life. And I am not working since the last 3 weeks. I was pushed away completely from that job, right? And I was waitressing in this restaurant for the last 10 years. And something was really literally pushing me away from there. And I won't get into this part of the story of my life right now, but I just wanted to make you understand where I'm at now. And I've stopped working since the last 3 weeks and been really open to what's going on around my home, my space. What I've been hearing a lot is that I really need to stop and just sit there and listen and hear those downloads because I've been hearing downloads and I've been working with those downloads since like February of 2019. And I've been working on my project to put those words onto t shirts and stuff. So I've been working with my website and my shop because of those downloads that were really like happening and having me message them to the world, right? So this is really something that is free because sitting here doesn't cost me a thing, right? So I'm not working, but I'm not needing to spend as much money as I used to uh, compensate in my day to day life because I wasn't happy with what I was before. I used to buy everything I wanted. I got all the money, but I wasn't living my life. I wasn't living my true self. And I really starting to get the message that I was serving, but I was not serving the right purpose, right? And my service for the right purpose is really helping people get a grasp of what is happening right now with these children that are being put in school and are diagnosed with ADHD, right? Because they're playing too much, they're too loud, they run around too much, they just can't sit down, right? But that's a problem. So this is part of my mission. My son was diagnosed with ADHD, right? And that was like 3 years ago. And I knew then that it was something more. It couldn't be just like ADHD and you give a pill and everything would be fine, right? But since I'm not alone as a parent in this equation, we are the dad, me, and my son. So I can have part of the say, but not all of it right now. So it was a transition. It was a transition to accept that my son had to get the diagnosis test because of his father was really hyperactive in school and he doesn't want his son to live the same life he did at his school because children would laugh at him because he wasn't listening in class, so he would get punished, and he was a lot hyperactive, and he didn't want his son to live that, right, and not have friends and not being accepted as who he was. So for him, my ex-husband, his term in his mind is that my son will take a pill and everything will be just fine, right? Well, that's part of the society's thinking, and it's not mine. And since I have stopped working, even more now, I've been really tapping into this, hearing the message that we really need to stop this in a way, because these children are coming here to teach us. So if we drug them, they're not going to be able to do what they need to do, right? Like society um, stopped ourselves from doing what we were supposed to do here, right? And we're just starting to remember what we were here for in this life form. And those downloads I've been receiving were really helping me understand again that all is here already. What I'm hearing is true. What I know inside is true. Even if I didn't read the books, even if I didn't go to school, even if I didn't learn it in a classroom, it doesn't mean that it's not true. I know it is because it's been given to me of knowing this and sharing. This need for me to share. That's why I'm having this video done, because it's been really, really calling me to do this, so to help you guys understand that if you have a small child and he tells you stuff that your brain doesn't get around it, and you say, how could this 3-year-old tell me this? Of course, he didn't like hear it like around him. Like, give you an example, right? My son was like 3 years old, and we were taking a bath together. Like, yeah, 2 years old, and we were taking a bath together. And he was looking at my belly, and he was saying, "You know what? I remember being in your belly and wanting to tell you I love you, but I couldn't because I was in there, you know? But I really wanted to tell you I loved you." How could he just imagine that at 3 years old, right? At 2 years old. How can he imagine that? How can he put those words into his own mouth without knowing that he really wasn't there and that he really, really wanted to tell me he loved me? And there was this other time, one of the many times, we were here in my new apartment like a couple of months ago. And as he was a child, I was always telling my mom or my surroundings, you know what? This child really can speak Chinese, right? I know he speaks Chinese. I just don't understand what he's saying. At that time, I had the idea of doing an app of translating like right away what the kids was saying, right? So, and it's already done now. So you can get that app, I guess. But and we were sitting down. I wanted to take a time out, a time off together on my yoga mat. And I started asking questions. Do you remember stuff from the old life? And he really got into this other reality. And he started telling me his life he had in China with his Chinese mom, and that she was really, really sick, right? And he started telling me this. And I was like, are you serious? In my head, I was like, are you serious? And he's telling me this in a voice that was not his, in a body language that was not his. And he's telling me that his mother was dying, and that he remembered that he was really small and they were really poor, and he was like changing his voice and everything. And I could see he was not faking this. And I was so struck by the oh, how do you say this in English? This closeness to the invisible that he was allowing me to participate in. And it was hard for my human brain to grasp that what he was telling me was really, really the right thing, you know? And I was like in between my human mind and my divine mind, that knowing what he was telling me is true. And I always thought he was Chinese before. And so that was all a confirmation that the divine wanted me to catch that, yes, you were right. There was a life before. There was something else before. And your son, it was all being part of that. And he's trying to teach you. He's trying to teach you what he was doing so that you can learn in this life, in this now, what he knows. His intelligence. He wants to share his light body intelligence with me so I can spread the message, right? And I've been having just telling you about it. It's like, I can't believe I just shared that with you, right? Because the ego doesn't want to tell anybody, but I'm just at the place right now where I have to, because I have to help others and I have to help myself heal. And doing this, so well, doing the work, right? It all comes